Okay, welcome back to our channel, MegaWhale team. Thanks for tuning into another video today. Today's video is an ICX analysis, and we got a bunch of requests to do this ICX video. 176 likes were posted on Twitter, so we're into it today. We're going to keep it nice and short and sharp because I'm losing my voice a little bit today. I've been talking a lot lately, so we're just going to dive right in and get stuck into it. Currently, we're seeing the price sitting above this grey zone. This grey zone has historically acted as a very major support and resistance zone, and therefore it is the strongest support and resistance and most important level on the ICX chart right now in terms of holding price. If we lose this level and close a daily candle below this level, we can expect a price drop towards 32 cents. All right, guys, 32 cents will be the target if we close a daily candle below 58 cents. So keep in mind that is our bearish scenario. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment, but we'll go over our bullish scenario first. The bullish scenario is, of course, we have to break over the 100-day moving average on the daily, which will send us upwards and hopefully propel us to retest this downward resistance, which has acted as a major resistance throughout the ICX chart. Obviously, overextension over here in October, November, rejection, rejection. So that level is acting as our major resistance. Moving forward from that, we will need to see a breakout on the RSI. So for us to retest this zone is not a strong enough buy signal. We will have to see a breakout on the RSI to indicate that in fact momentum is in the positive, momentum is on our side, and the price will continue upwards. Otherwise, we will just see a rejection at this point. We can bring it up on the 3-day chart. We can see here that all these occasions here, we haven't quite had that positive momentum on the RSI. We've faked out a few times, we got rejected, but we haven't really had a clean break and found support on this trend to indicate the momentum is flipped and the trend has actually flipped. So just the price moving upwards here is not enough of a conviction. I would not be convinced enough that the price will break out. I would also like to see a breakout on the RSI. So go open up your charts, write a note. If you're interested in buying ICX at any time soon, or you're interested in trading ICX, wait for a 3-day break on the RSI to indicate momentum has shifted, trend has changed, and there is more of a higher chance that the price will therefore continue to the upside rather than just rejecting like we have seen in basically every other occasion. All right. So zooming back into the 1-day chart, let's take a look at some more. Well, let's take a look at the chart and really, analyze what it's telling us. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing a lot of strength on these last retests. A lot of strength. We have our glimmer of weakness, which is a wick below the support zone. If we take in consideration Bitcoin, and we'll draw Bitcoin on a chart here, we have this symmetrical triangle formation. And if we break downwards from this symmetrical triangle formation and lose this 39,300 zone, Bitcoin will crash. It will crash to 36,000. If that happens, ICX will be heading into this zone and retesting the bottom of the zone, similar to what happened here. Holding true to my Bitcoin prediction, I do not believe Bitcoin will hold that 36,600 level. I believe it will drop through it, and therefore I also believe if that happens, ICX will not hold this level again and it will bleed through it. So this is my bearish prediction for ICX at 32 cents. If it ever reaches that price, if everything crashes, that is where I'll be aggressively buying ICX. Until then, I will remain a little cautious and I'll be biding my time, waiting for a breakout over here. So there's not much to go off ICX right now. Between these levels, between this support range here and this resistance range, we are just trending. We are just ranging. I do expect volatility, and I don't think you should be buying within this range. I also don't think you should worry about the price action between this range. I think the important data points in this chart is this level here and this level here. Anything that happens between here is just volatility. And the reason why I say do not buy now if you haven't is because holding through volatility is what shakes you out of the market. Generally, it makes you emotionally trade, it makes you irrational, it makes you take irrational decisions, and most traders are not experienced or do not have the time horizon to see past these trades, to see past these moves, or to analyze these moves effectively to understand what is occurring. So maybe you buy in and it goes up 5%, but then it drops back down to this range and you panic sell. But in reality, it finds support and pushes back upwards. So you panic buy and then it drops, and it just over and over and over. This volatility is too dangerous to be trading if you don't have experience. So what you should be doing instead is either wait for a breakout here, but also wait for that RSI to break, or wait for a breakdown and sell. So you'd be selling a breakdown on a daily, so you get a daily candle close below here is a sell signal, and then obviously a daily close above here with the RSI above that trend line on a 3-day chart is your buy signal. Between then, it doesn't matter what happens. So that is our stance on here. Let's take a look at the larger time frame on the daily, and let's just talk about some of the indicators. So under bull market swap band, confirming downtrend, under the 100-day moving average, under the 200-day moving average, confirming the downtrend. Our super trends are looking obviously bearish. The only positive thing we have going for us right now is that we are right above this major support zone. All right, that is kind of the only thing that's suggesting we are somewhat positive. Every technical indicator I can mention or find is going to be pointing towards a downwards direction, and that is obviously fair because we have such an aggressive downwards move. These indicators are generally lagging and expressing data from this aggressive downwards move. So we can't be basing our analysis off these 1-day indicators to predict a potential swing. We have to be diving into the smaller time frame a little bit more. So we're going to go to a 4-hour chart and take a look. Let's bring up the same indicators, RSI, let's bring up MACD. We're going to start 4 hours and move up to 12 hours and take a look. So 4 hour, it is not telling us too much. We do have a little bit of support over here. Obviously, we haven't come down and retested that. It's very probable we can come down and retest that range. And we obviously have a RSI resistance sitting up at around 51. So that 51 resistance is going to be what prevents us from breaking upwards. If you remember back to our daily chart, we have our 100-day moving average sitting at around 80 cents. That 4-hour RSI resistance will probably reject that 80 cents if it doesn't break upwards, meaning that if we are able to push above this level, there's a good chance ICX will push past that 80-cent resistance on the 1 day. And if we pass that 80-cent resistance on the 1 day, there's a good chance the price is going to continue upwards. So even looking on the smaller time frame, going off 1 or 2 indicators, there really isn't enough data to suggest that now is a good time to buy. You can take a look at the the micro, and look at the real small time frame, and yes, you can get some swings in, you can get some scalps in, but the whole purpose of investing right now, obviously for crypto, is to make a lot of money. And obviously look at the macro. We're looking at the macro right now. We don't care about the short term. The reason we don't care about the short term is because we're in a macro downtrend. It doesn't matter. The short term doesn't matter. There's always going to be more selling pressure than there is buying pressure. So anytime you take a short term trade, there's always going to be a greater amount of risk than in comparison to when you're taking a short-term trade when the market is bullish. All right, keep that in mind. So guys, there really isn't much for me to go over besides that today. I hope this video helped to some degree. Keep those indicators in mind, keep those trigger points in mind. Breaking this downward resistance plus a break on the RSI on the 3-day will indicate a buy signal. Losing this level with a daily close below 58.7 will indicate a sell signal. Until then, we are ranging. If you haven't bought in, do not buy in. If you are in the market, be aware of these levels, be aware of these 2 validation and invalidation points, and expect the price to be volatile between. All right, guys, hope this helped, and I'll catch you in the next video.